Hello, welcome to another episode of Stemmy Conversations podcast, a podcast where we talk all things STEM and ICT. I am your host, Kenita Roberts, and alongside me, I have Stephanie Simon. I'd like to welcome our guest today, and his name is Mr. Jason Jacobs. He is an aspiring cybersecurity professional. He is a graduate in a Bachelor's of Science in Computer Science, former assistant ICT engineer at the National Data Management Authority in Security Operations. This aspiring cybersecurity specialist aims to secure ICT infrastructure and devices and also build cyber-aware individuals. Welcome, Mr. Jacobs, to Semi
Hi, thank you for
Conversation.
having me
And how are
today.
you doing today? Steph, how you doing?
I'm doing okay despite the heat and all. It's fine. How about you?
I'm doing great on my end. And I'd like to start our conversation this morning. And I think the first question I want to ask Mr. Jacobs is give us a day in your life as a ICT professional. You can tell us what you're currently doing and just like how your day plays out.
So, a day in my life within this field that I work in. So, it's a lot of consumption of information, public information, where you read news about cyber incidents, uh, it, data breaches, events where hackers would breach companies, and these sorts of things. And you analyze information about these events, how it has occurred, where there was a weakness, whether it was a weakness on an individual's end or weakness within technology and these sorts of things. And it's like creating contingency plans or adapting uh among yourself as individuals or making changes to technology to better it, to secure critical infrastructure.
Now, I must say that sounds like a very technical day. A very, very technical day. So tell us, what career did you pursue?
So I did my bachelor's degree for computer science start in 2017, right after high school. Um, for me, that quick transition was, quite a big jump. I know some people are used to going to the Technical Institute in Guyana after high school and to get the little tension into what it is they want to do. But for me, it was just that quick jump into computer science right away and getting into all the technical aspects of it and moving on from there.
Okay, Steph, you have any questions you'd like to ask?
Yeah, actually, so I know that it's around the cybersecurity aspect, right? How is
Yeah.
STEM being integrated into this field of work for you?
STEM,
Hmm.
STEM it is, you said?
Yeah.
So
Or
from my
ICT,
my
actually.
understand my understanding of STEM was it science, technology, engineering, mathematics. When I hear about STEM, I think about robotics and artificial intelligence and these sorts of things, right? It's quite challenging to join the two and think about it, but um, how can I say this? I think STEM is very generalized and can cover many things. I
Hmm.
think like ICT and ICT devices, Internet of Things, they can all fall under STEM. And within cybersecurity, we study many things, including the aspects of the Internet of Things, and we can say STEM as well.
Hmm.
So it's kind of like being an all-rounder, knowing a little bit of everything having to understand how it works, its underlying operations, and these things if you want to keep it secure and so on.
Okay, cool. So, I have another question I want to ask, by the way. So, if you weren't into the field of cybersecurity, what else you would have been doing now?
Software engineering, but software engineering, to keep up with that was a thing I found quite challenging, having to constantly be updated with these new web technologies. For example, JavaScript developers, they know all these frameworks or maybe a
Yeah.
few, and things are always changing about them. And for you now as a person, you may be urged or pressured to always stay updated in how these things work, how we can, okay, maybe make a server run more efficiently and all these things. It's too much to keep up with for me, but I would have gone into that field if it wasn't for security. But me ending up in security was just a matter of being involved in extracurricular activities. For example, during my time at UG, which we're yet to discuss, I managed to get into UG Cybersecurity Club.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was early 2018, 2017 transition into 2018. I got on as an events coordinator after they had elections. I was forced to join. I had no idea on how to perform any sort of management, arrange events, do any planning, anything like that. And few things went on. We did few public awareness events. I was involved in it and these sort of things. When there's what we call it Girls in ICT Day
Yeah.
and these sorts of public tech events, I recall participating and educating high schoolgirls at the Arthur Conference Center for various events and these things. Time went on, 2019 now, we traveled for UG and we represented not only UG but also Guyana
Mm-hmm.
in debate competition for the OAS, and we debated cyber incidents, cyber diplomacy, and a bunch of intricate topics, all centered around cyber incidents and how you can recover from them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So within cybersecurity, we have many aspects, whereas you have things like governance, you have people who just work with policies and documents, while you have people that work with technical aspects, people on the computer, people working with tools, numbers, fancy information, and so on, and these sorts of things. And transition forward ahead of 2019, they later made me president for the cybersecurity club during COVID-19 time, right? Mind
Mm-hmm.
you, that was a challenging period for the club.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody just home behind a computer screen on Zoom and these WhatsApp groups. It was hard to keep up with your colleagues in regard to, what's happening for you, what's happening for me, and so on. So during that period, it was just a moment of information sharing for us. And now since I'm out to UG, so them I've just been like at the side looking into operations and giving advice on, okay, this is how things usually go, this is what we would do, and so on. These are certain events which you can keep planning and so on, keep these things running for your members and so on. And it was just a kind of, you know, those kinds of events for me after.
Okay. Over to you, Kenita, if you wanna.
Thanks, Steph. So I'm glad that, we lightly touched on basically your journey. And I would
Yeah.
say I would also tie it into some of the requirements needed. So I know that you're not quite a cyber security professional. You're very much aspiring, but currently you
Aspire.
are an assistant ICT engineer. From what I would have gathered, you've done your high school education, you went to straight into the University of Guyana. You
Yeah.
basically aligned yourself to extracurriculars that basically fed your passion for the field. And so my question to you is, now that you got some education, you got some experience.
Mhm.
What would be the next step for you to be, a cyber security professional? Do you have to do a master's, maybe another degree? What would be the next step for you?
So That's a good question. Within this field, there are many ways to move forward. You can move on and do a master's degree. I don't know how long they usually last. I haven't took time to study it. Or you can move on and do professional certifications. And these certifications, it takes less time to achieve them as it would take to achieve a degree or a master's. They would either take you 2, 3 months to study the information from a textbook, an online course, or whatever, based on whatever professional certification it is, whether it's something regarding management in cybersecurity, um, incident response, recovering from cyber incidents, digital forensics, and a lot of aspects. As I said, cybersecurity is a big field of containing many various aspects and many various responsibilities and roles. And studying those professional certifications can get you in the game as soon as possible. And as good as it sounds, it is true indeed. So it's just a matter of dedication now, how many time you're willing to invest into these um these course content to better yourself as an individual within this field. But for me now, answering to that, I haven't answered for me, right? I would of course love to move on and do a master's degree whenever the opportunity arises. I'm going to go for it.
Okay, well, I hope that you're
Awesome.
granted that opportunity.
Yep.
Um, Cybersecurity is a very important topic. Like when I hear cybersecurity, I think about, people getting hacked, and I think that's something that has been happening a lot. I feel like it's low key one of my fears. Like if my business page get hacked or my personal page get hacked, like what would I do if my email get hacked? Because it has so much
Yeah,
information there for me. And with the world we
yeah.
have right now, a lot of our information is stored online. And
Hmm.
though it's safer and we can possibly have it forever, we still have these outside forces with the potential to, take that away from us. Right. So I do think that is a very important field. And I hope that, you would be one of the persons to basically raise awareness, let people know, how can they keep their accounts secure um moving forward. So I do hope that you're granted your opportunity.
Definitely.
So our next question is this is our second to last question. Stephanie, I'll give you the very last one.
Okay,
Um,
sure.
what does success look like for you as a
Success.
cybersecurity professional?
So as a cybersecurity professional or just for me individually?
Actually, any perspective you'd like to take it from. So for you individually, that's okay. Um, yeah, any perspective.
So I would say success for me means all this hard work which I've invested should give me some tangible return. Of course, most of us look forward to finances. Also getting opportunities to meet a few of our idols in technology. One day maybe you can
Yeah.
travel to Facebook headquarters or Google headquarters and meet these few people which we look up to, like the CEOs and so on. You know their names. And these sorts of things, for me, success within this field and success for me as an individual which has pursued a professional career, just having those sorts of returns means a lot for me, I would say.
Okay, I think
Okay,
that's a good reason.
cool. What I would like to ask is, being in this field, what advice would you give to a young person out there who's interested in venturing out into the cybersecurity arena? What would you tell them?
So for me, it started very early for me. Like for me, in high school fourth form, I used to read a lot about cybersecurity news, companies getting hacked and such. I used to be on YouTube venturing out a lot and downloading a lot of videos on how to do this, how to do that, and how to do something else. Within this field, I was quite technical, At one point, a friend took my phone, wonder if I was going insane for a while. Why do I have over 40 videos on my phone on, okay, how you do this, how you do that within the field of cybersecurity? So I just pull off a little response just to brush him off, say, okay, one day I might make a school. And he's like, okay, but for me, it was an investment, right? If these resources are available at hand, they're on YouTube, they're on Google, and I can get them so easily. I'm going to research them, read, watch a lot of videos, and develop myself, with the best chance that I can get into just getting my foot into this field. And for me, it started as quite simple as that. I had no access into these professional textbooks that you buy from Amazon or these other platforms and so on, buying courses from Udemy or these other websites that provide paid online courses. It wasn't that for me. It was making use of the free resources and just taking advantage of every opportunity I've had while I've had internet connection for a certain period of time in high school. Maybe it was for like 3 hours a day or something like that. And that was Christmas for me. I made the most of that.
Wow.
Okay. So basically, yes, wow. What I would have gathered is that youths should be inquisitive.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
always gotta ask you questions and be curious as to how this works or how that
yeah,
works. And if there's somebody like has already have the experience, you can connect with them. And connection is another key aspect too, because we have so many of them around, or a few of them,
mhm,
and we just need to get access to them and talk to them a bit about it. Like, what are some of the courses I should go into, or what are some of the specialties in cybersecurity, like to give you a broader scope as to what is it I can do. There's not only one particular job role, so there are
mhm.
multiple, and you can check them out. So thank you so
Yeah.
much for that.
Wait, I have a side question. So, were you the type to ask how to hack, somebody account?
Hold on, please rephrase.
I have a side question. I want to know if you want the person who used to find out how to hack an account.
Who's finding out?
Me.
Oh, I mean, um, within cybersecurity, there's something called offensive security, and I believe that comes under risk management. And people within that role, they would basically just sit for majority of their work hours and test out the weaknesses and security of technology, see how far they can go to expose information and break into it and see what they can gain access to and these sorts of things. And yeah, people do that professionally. And there's also the bad guys, the cyber criminals, we call them, who do it for personal gain. And, we have things like the Cybercrime Act and legal forces to intervene in such incidents.
I love the way you wiggled yourself out of that,
Yeah,
Mr. Jacob.
tackled it well.
I think that if you weren't a cybersecurity, you'd have probably been a lawyer. That's my personal opinion.
Maybe.
Well, thank you for joining Semi Conversations today. We greatly appreciate your presence. Stephanie, anything for us?
No, no. But I would like to give a heads up to the persons out there. I think you mentioned a club at the University of Guyana. If you can give the name of that back again.
Yeah, the University of Guyana Cybersecurity Club. So here's the thing, right? UG Cybersecurity Club, we don't do much at the time. They don't do much advertising on Facebook and these public social media platforms. So there's the website that is part of UG's domain extension. It's ugcc.uog.edu.gy. You can take note of that. probably, get out on your Instagram page
Yep.
so that people are aware of the UG Cybersecurity Club. So
Mhm.
for now, I think it's just like, people come together in a small social circle, contribute to each other, and they develop themselves professionally in the field of cybersecurity.
Okay. Thanks so much for that. Oh, over to you, Kenita.
Okay, so I just like to say thank you, Mr. Jacobs, for your presence here. Thank you for sharing with us today. And I want to encourage our viewers to visit our social media. We are on Facebook, we are on Instagram as Stemmy Conversations. We're also on Anchor, Spotify, Apple and Google Podcasts, Digital Go Loud, as also Stemmy Conversations. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. So basically, we are everywhere for you to contact us. And do enjoy the remainder of your day. Thank you for joining Stemmy.
Thank you.
All right, excellent.